Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about solving absolute value equations. So the first thing I wanted to go over is how to solve an absolute value equation. The steps that we have is 1, get the absolute value alone. That means if anything's around it being multiplied to the absolute value or added or subtracted to the absolute value, we want to move it to the other side of the equal sign. We want to set whatever is inside our absolute value bars equal to the answer and set it equal to the negative of the answer. So that means we're going to have two equations here, and we should always have two equations. And then we're going to solve it, and we're going to check the answers. One thing I do want to note is an absolute value never equals a negative. So that means once everything is said and done, you get your absolute value alone and nothing else is around it, and you're ready to get to the setup and solve part. If it equals a negative number, it does not have a solution. So let's look at a few. So I have the absolute value of 3x minus 4, that equals 8. I'm looking around my absolute value. There's nothing outside of it that I need to move. So we're going to set up our equations. The first equation is going to be 3x minus 4 equals 8. My other equation is going to be 3x minus 4 equals negative 8. And then we're going to solve these two. We're going to add 4 to both sides. 3x equals 12. We're going to divide by 3. You're going to tell me x equals 4. That's the first one. We're then going to add 4 to both sides. 3x is going to equal negative 4. We're going to divide by 3. And you're going to tell me x equals negative 4/3. So now the answers that I have are 4 and negative 4/3. I'm then going to want to take this and plug it in. So if I take this x value and plug it in, it will look like this. We're going to put the 4 right there. And if I plug in my other one, we're going to put a negative 4/3 there. So let's review these. If I do 3 times 4, that's 12, minus 4 is 8. Absolute value of 8 is 8. This answer works. That one's good. If I come over here, 3 times a negative 4/3 is actually a negative 4. The 3's would cancel. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. Absolute value of negative 8 is 8. So my problem works. Try the next one. So we should get 2x minus 6 equals 12. 2x minus 6 equals negative 12. 2x should equal 18. And x should be 9. 2x should equal negative 6, and x should be negative 3. Plug it in. 2 times 9 is 18. Minus 6 is 12. Absolute value is 12, so we're good here. And then if we do the negative 3, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Minus 6 is negative 12. Absolute value of negative 12 is 12, so negative 3 is also my answer. And then we have these. If you look at it again, notice how there's a 4 and a 3, and here's my absolute value bars. So this is where I need to get my absolute value alone. I'm first going to add 4 to both sides. You're going to tell me 3 absolute value of x minus 6 equals 26. We're going to divide by 3. You know what, let's make u a 23. I think that's what I meant to make that, which would make u, try to erase u, there we go, a 27. That's where I wanted to go with this. And we're going to divide by 3 here and here, and you're going to tell me the absolute value of x minus 6 equals 9. We're going to set up our equations. And we're going to solve. You're going to tell me x equals 15 and x equals -3. Okay, so now we got to plug them in. So let's take 15. 15 minus 6, that's 9. Absolute value of 9 is 9 times 3 is 27 minus 4 is 23. So 15 works. Let's do -3. -3 minus 6 is -9. Absolute value of that is 9 times 3 is 27 minus 4 is 23. So then my -3 works. Try the next one. All right, so doing this one, you're going to subtract 5 off of both sides first. 4 times the absolute value of 2x plus 1 equals 16. You're going to divide by 4 and tell me the absolute value of 2x plus 1 equals 4. Set up your equations. The positive and the negative. Subtract off 1 and divide by 2. Subtract off 1, divide by 2. Okay, and then we're going to want to plug them in. So if I took 3 halves and plugged it in, 2 times 3 halves is 3, plus 1 is 4. Absolute value of 4 is 4, times 4 is 16, plus 5 is 21. 3 halves works. If I take 5 halves, 2 times -5 halves is a -5, plus 1 is a -4. Absolute value of that is 4, times 4 is 16, plus 5 is 21. So the -5 halves also works. If you have any questions, email me and we can always set up a time to meet. Thanks, guys.